What's up, my people? How are they waiting? They happen waiting this up. Yes, so I am back again. You see, guys, I like this new version of Angela Okorie. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she's very matured now, and I do not see this as a weakness. I see it as growth, right? Or it might just be something personal that she really doesn't want to share. But you notice that she really does not react to things the way she used to. Usually she would have made videos to abuse her enemies, say this and that. Probably, she's going through something, maybe trauma or something. She was going through something back then that all these things were happening. But these days, I just noticed like she doesn't really reply like that, to critics and to things that's being said about her. I remember in the previous video, I talked about her doing BBL, which, I shared my honest opinion about it. And I think there were other people who agreed with me, who also shared the same opinions on social media. I think she got wind of that. She replied. She didn't really, say much. Probably the people that's close to her are saying the same thing, and she didn't like it. But uh, just to be clear, right? The things that I said about her doing BBL were my honest opinion. And again, I don't know if you guys catch that, but I emphasize on her being beautiful. Likewise, other people that do BBL, I just think sometimes this is like an insecurity thing. And I said this is very common on the island, Lekki. I remember going to Lekki before making that video, and out of 10 people, maybe two, I would say, okay, looks nice on them. The rest, they just look disfigured. And I don't even think that they need any other adjustment to their figure. But it is what it is. Everybody grew up from different backgrounds, and we go through life differently and see life, differently. That's their own calamity. But I just noticed this thing about Angela Okorie. Even a fight with Zubi, she had to find a way. Herself and Zubi actually had to find a way to just quash the beef. And they even, I think they made a movie together. Both of them appeared in the same movie, which seemed like it was never going to happen, because both of them just refused to be starred in the same movie, especially Angela Okorie. I think that's how you just get to know that, you seem like this lady is just tired of it, the internet. You see, that's the problem with people in general, like especially some Nigerians. And I'm also here to talk about, some Nigerians and the attitude on social media. And that's what is happening to Akpi right now. I'm talking about Speed Darlington. That's what puts him in trouble right now. The same people who will push you, will praise you, will call you the president, will call you, good names, right? Will be the same people who will still say crazy things about you if you get into trouble as a result of what you were doing or what they were praising you for. Like, it's just so crazy. And once you realize, you stay humble, you know. And this, I think, also happened to people like, Angela Okorie, like over time, where people that she thought would be there for her and stuff. It is the social media. And we're still going to talk about Speed Darlington, but let me quickly read what Angela Okorie said here. She said attitudes, because she replied those people that would, I think this is like a reply to those people that have been saying that she did BBL and maybe didn't look good on her. But I don't know, I suspect because she wrote it after the tons of opinions. Attitudes separate people. Be the person you want to meet. Most people will be in the exact same place and the same person next year as they are today. Don't be most people. You have to train your mind to be stronger than your emotions, or else you will lose yourself every time when someone tries to trigger you by insulting you or by doing or saying something that irritates you. Don't be in such a rush to respond. Don't take it personal. Just switch off your ego. There are times to speak, and sometimes don't say anything. Like, you remember that time that we got a report that she's been kicked out of her apartment, and everybody was expecting her to say something. She did not say anything, and I feel like that kind of disappoints a lot of people, to her in a good way. I think she knew people who were expecting her to respond as usual. Even I remember saying that, I know Angela Okorie will reply, because of how she used to do. She would definitely reply. But turns out that she didn't even reply, although there were footages that came out that she came back and, destroyed that place and stuff, but she just handling it well, you know. She said there are times to speak and sometimes don't say anything. Remember that if you are easily offended, you are easily manipulated. Exact. And there's this thing that is trending on social media, this news that's trending on social media about the funfair in Ibadan. Let me read this. It says, Oni's ex-wife, others face probe as 32 children feared killed at Ibadan funfair. You see, here's my problem with some Nigerians is, she mean well. She's not supposed to be, probe. They are not supposed to call her. May God no let our good deeds. Why do we think like this? So because, okay, so in the news, they said they prepared to receive 5,000 people and over 7,000 people came, right? That is not the problem. She have good intentions. And if you have good intentions, does that mean that you shouldn't organize it well? She should be probed. Why? I saw some comments saying, is that, but there's, our politician, haven't they given people food and people died while they were giving the food? Why didn't they probe them? I really don't understand how, people think. Sometimes I wonder, that our sentiment sometimes affects our judgment. Somebody said, okay, we want to organize a fun fair and we're expecting 5,000 people. Fine, you're expecting 5,000 people. If you're expecting 5,000 people, it should be in your head that just add like 8,000 or 2,000 because this is Nigeria. A lot of people are hungry around this time, right? Now, what am I trying to say? The security, it has to be in a secured place, and not just that, it has to be well organized. Enough people to control the crowd, if that is what you are expecting. And if the police now say, okay, we need to call this person and probe them, ask them some questions. What did you do? What are the things? We're talking about 35 children dead. What did you do? What are the things that you put in place to ensure that this does not happen? Let us talk. If people like that have been questioned, invited to the police station to explain why this happened, do you think that in the future, other people that had this in mind wouldn't, prepare well? Allow the police to do their job, even though we know that sometimes most of them now problem they be. Sometimes, even though we know they are corrupt. Let me read this one. They said, the Oyo State Police Command says it is investigating the circumstances surrounding the alleged death of 32 children during this stampede at a fun fair in Ibadan. The stampede occurred when participants rushed to gain access to the venue of the event, reportedly organized by the ex-queen of the Okorie of Ife, prophetess Naomi Shikemi, and Ibadan-based broadcaster Oriyomi. Even though Oriyomi, they said that is not part of the organizers. I think there were reports that says Oriyomi is not part of the organizers. But later, I saw this guy in the hospital bed They said after he heard the news about the kids, he slumped and he was rushed to the hospital. I think he slumped or he was taken to the hospital somehow, sha. So I saw him in the hospital bed being given oxygen, even though they were reports that that's not real. Like that's not, the oxygen is not coming out. Like, I don't want to talk about that because I'm not there and I'm not a doctor. But let's continue. They said investigations by Punch Metro also showed that the victims were stampeded to death while trying to break through the main gate of the school. It was further gathered that provision was made for 5,000 children, but the number that turned up for the event was reportedly over 7,500. And I would like to know, do they inform the police about this? What are the steps that were taken before? Is there like an ambulance ready or two, like things like that? Did they put all those things into consideration? There are some people who just say Nigerians are ugly, fit them. So I can tell you for a fact the organizers they are trash. They messed up, They really messed up. That's it about that. Let me quickly chip this in. I remember talking about Akbi. There was a video of his lawyer talking, and people were really concerned about his communication skills. They said that this guy, can't even communicate properly, and that's probably the reason why Abu is still in jail and stuff like that. It's like they're trying to push blame on this guy, just because of this particular video.
So update about Akpi now. Look at what the build-up of the case. You remember that Akpi was earlier arrested. After he was arrested, I think he was in detention for 5 days. After he was arrested, he was in detention for about 5 days, and we were able to secure him bail. And after he was secured bail, the DIG invited us to come back on a social date. So Anapi had to travel, go back to the US. Now look at before then. So before he was released, Burna Boy was invited. Burna Boy came with his team. I think Burna Boy came from US. Burna Boy came with his team, and we all had a roundtable meeting at the DIG's office, DIG FID. I think his name is Galadan Chief. So after the roundtable, Burna Boy with his lawyer and his team shared his own part of the story. Said, look. Speedy made some post about him and he did not like it. This is it. We were able to say, okay, maybe it's misrepresentation. And they had the roundtable and we felt everything is fine. And everybody went his way. Speedy was allowed to go, and we went with Speedy. I think I was the one that to show that it's not jump back. In fact, I was the one that brought a shorty because they asked him that he must get a shorty before he could be granted bail. So we arranged for a shorty and he was granted bail. So after then, we were asked to report back 5 days later, maybe the next week, and Speedy had to travel. Before then, when Speedy was released, one of the condition precedents or one of the things that the DIG said or the police said that, look, we don't want, Burna Boy said, okay, he might not want to press charges or this or that. He just need apology and Speedy to stop making posts about him, that he has lost a lot of, that he has lost a lot of gig, or he has lost since they made that post, blah, blah, blah. And we say fine, we advise Speedy and stuff like that. Now, I'm not here to talk about the cruise of the matter because already in court. Is for court to decide if this is what lawyers say is sub judice. I am not here to discuss the cruise of the matter. If Akpe or Speedy Darlington, what he said amount to defamation or defamed Burna Boy or stuff like that. What has been my grievances from day one, which I've heard publicly so many times.
I mean, I don't know what to say, but if you ask me, I've listened to lawyers communicate, especially in Nigeria, even the big time lawyers. I don't think they are that good when it comes to communicating people. You see them being interviewed after, there are some that are very good, right? but a great number of them, I don't think so. Which you can't use, even the ones that win cases. You will listen to them, you'll be like, and this one they win case like this. I feel like the way they handle the whole thing in the courts is different from just the regular communication, because they are there to defend someone, they are there to show proof, and they have their words, the terms that they use in law. And don't forget, these are lawyers that are going into the court of law prepared. They are not prepared to speak to the audience, but most of the time they are prepared to defend their clients. So I don't know, but I can't use this video to judge him. Would you use this video to judge him? Okay, that's it. Let us quickly dive into this part, entertainment, right? I don't know if you guys have seen this video of Odumudu talking about Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy, some people call him a philanthropist, but I call him the man with the good heart. Now, whatever its intention is none of my business, but there are some people that they are just givers. They like giving. Although some people said they use them, they cover their mouth, they use them, they shut their mouth up, they use them, they buy their trust, they use them, they buy them, there are different things that have been said. But personally, I just think he's a giver. Because even some people, we won't even buy person, we won't even shut you up or something. They know they give like that. But I think if it's in you, because Don Jazzy has given to different people that he does not even know before now. So sometimes when you go back, what you check when you want to know someone, you go back to check their history. And that's why sometimes I tell people it is important before you judge someone, check where they are coming from. Check their progress. Check out what they've been doing. Is this thing consistent, or is this a new thing? Don Jazzy has always been known to be that person that gives. There was even a time on Twitter, everybody knows Don Jazzy's page. Go there like this, he will give you something. Giveaways. Who made giveaways become popular? Don Jazzy from Twitter. Giveaway became popular through him. So Odumudu was talking about him.
AWG coming up this weekend.
The first. But before we go to the first, this tape here has Don Jazzy, who is the king of Afrobeat. It's arguable, but now in the Nigerian music scene, there's nobody that is more original than Don Jazzy. Like, if you watch Vampire Diaries, you understand, when they say an OG, you understand, Don Jazzy came, like, respect to my brothers, Burna, Wiz, Olamide, David. All of us used to look up, like, the way we used to look up to them, David and these people I just called, they used to look up to Don Jazzy.
Yeah, so please tell me, how did that happen with Don Jazzy, getting him on this joint?
I just hit him up. Like, the first day we did that Stampede, I was like, I recorded the vocal that sounded like Don Jazzy's vocal, and I was like, no, Don Jazzy should
be on it.
When I went to go and meet him, he gave me a lot of money. Yeah, I have to put that out there. He gave me a lot of money. I tell everywhere I go, I tell them he gave me $10,000 cash, and he gave me
for what now?
Yeah, now Abbas had to ask me, said,
for what?
Why did he give you so much money?
I want to know too.
Just because he's the Don. Don't know before mouth.
And that's it. And then there was no other talk. And he agreed.
And he still gave me vocals. He now told me that I should keep all the royalties and I can put him as a featured artist. That day they still cook food for me to eat.
Talking.
So real, it was talking about.
Yeah,
why try something? And some rainfall. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So now, did you have to add that line after this meeting? No. Oh, the line already made the song.
That's God.
Yeah, even though I saw a video of him kicking a fan's phone, I don't know what Odumudu is trying to prove. I like his songs, but I don't like his personality. I don't like his persona. I think he's a wannabe. He's somebody that is trying to prove that he's hard. And when you're trying to prove these hard guy things, it shows that you are not hard because you don't need to force it.
Not to black on too much. Just see what he did to this particular person's phone. Because when I go, you get one hit song, when I go, they misbehave.
Maybe that no be person where we see for Unilag, where something happen for Unilag, I don't know, or something. We start to the jog they run. Why you no show street then? Nah, harmless fans. Now you go to kick their phone.
A few moments later.
Say, can I tell you what it is? Say, hey, cause
A few moments later.
Okay, the next one here. Here's between Mr. Easy and an internet user. I said, dear Apple Music, that's this Benny. You really need to investigate the streams coming from Nigeria. There's a lot of stream farming currently going on. And Mr. Easy was like, And the person said, you save shock with the way the farming done too much. I said, there is nothing like streaming farming in Nigeria. Please, no need for investigations. We are a vibrant music consuming people, hence the number you see. Mr. Easy, even Mr. Easy, no, yes, we consume it a lot because it happens in America too. It's not just in Nigeria, all over the world. Yes, in Nigeria, it's much. Yeah, because it has become like a competition where they rate your music based on the Apple Music number. Is it number 1? Is it number 2? Is it number 3? And I know some people who only go to stream songs just because they are number 1 or number 3, number 4 or number 5. So why wouldn't you go and pay these streaming farms to help you get it there? Sometimes it stays there because once it gets out there that, is at number 3 or is at number 1, everybody wants to go and listen to you. So you can use streaming farms to kick it off. And that's why you see some people, when they get there, they cannot maintain that. Tell me why somebody would be at number 1 today and tomorrow we drop to number 32 or number 38. Some of them for 2 days, and the next time you see them is at number far away from number 10, number 15, from number 1. Come on. So it's happening, but still we consume music a lot. Even in the abroad, they consume music a lot, but yet they're streaming farms. So I think it also helps them in a way. It helps them in a way, where sometimes the song might even be good and not get a lot of attention. But once it gets to that spot, number 1 to 10, then people will start going to stream it and be like, okay, I think that's why is it. But they use something push on. So it's a normal, it's common actually, even record label, they do these things. Okay guys, well, that's where I'm going to hold it. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, subscribe, until we see next time. Peace.
Is that defamation has been decriminalized in most of our jurisdiction. Defamation has been decriminalized. That means it's no longer in the realm of crime. And what the law says that if not a crime, if it is a civil action, police has no jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Means that once it is a civil action, you cannot use police to come and arrest someone. The same thing with tenancy agreement, and someone is owing you money. Once it is in the realm of civil disputes, police has no jurisdiction over it. So what we have been saying, I in particular, I won't, is not those that have been following me is part of both my articles of things I've published on this matter. Is if Burna Boy is claiming that Speedy defamed him per se or say something about him, you have a right to approach the court and institute an action in civil matter and say, look, tell the court that this, and seek for financial damages. But involving police is now more like a pound or a more like playboys in the hands of money individual, that anybody, once you have the money to hire them, No matter what, you can just mobilize them and this thing. So that has been my grievances. Now look, that don't forget the fact that Speedy has been in detention now for the past 3 weeks. Now the question will always be, what have been the lawyer doing? Now the lawyer, the lawyer and my other colleagues, we have been, now from the moment he was rearrested, the point of the police is that they don't want to grant him bail on the ground that he jumped bail the first time and said, okay, when they ask him to report back. And I also made to understand that police also has some grievances, that he made some posts against them saying that they collected bribe, this and that. So most of all those grievances, and it's more like a lot of high individuals are interested in the matter, but that is not a ground for him to be detained for this long. He is not a criminal, he's not an armed robber. It's just a civil dispute that he made some post about this, which a court can be said, okay, we have approached court. In fact, the matter has been filed to court, and they were only able to sign us a date claiming that there is no more free or empty schedule in the court. Now the date they assigned to us for his arraignment was, I think, 15th of January next year. By the implication means that if for us to wait for court, for us to seek for court bail, we have to wait till 15th of January. That means he will be spending the Christmas and festive season there. Now, also note that the police also have the power to grant him administrative bail. The reason why they have not granted him administrative bail till now, for the past 3 weeks, is something none of us can explain. We've actually pushed all the buttons. We've actually in talks with the DIG, who is now more like the IPO of the case. We've actually in talk with everybody. We've actually filed for fundamental enforcement for him to be. We've actually filed all the processes that the lawyer could know how to file. We've actually made all the wide range of consultations. But I think the problem we are having now is, number one, is that, just like a post I made some time ago, that most of our court is choked now. I think the NJC, the Nigeria Judicial Commission, needs to create more judicial offices, appoint more judicial officers. It will interest you to know that if you want to do a matter now in Supreme Court, they will tell you that there is no longer free date. You have to take a date as from 2027. Just imagine someone is arrested and detained, so you have to wait till 2027. Mind you that just the same thing that we're having with Akwe. The only empty date or free schedule, the closest date that the prosecutors can get for his arraignment was as far as 15th of January. That means they intend to keep him. He was brought before court last week. That was last week Thursday. We were all in court. Akwe was brought before court. We tried to see if the court will listen to us, or due to the fact that he has been in detention for a long time now. But the judge insisted, he said, look, that we have to wait, that he will not attend to a matter that is not on the court list. That despite the pleading, I think the prosecutor, who is also a senior advocate, this deputy commissioner of police, we all pleaded and said, look, my lord, this guy has been in detention now for the past 3 weeks. So is there anything we can do? The judge insisted that she cannot hear us since the matter is not on the court list, that we have to wait till or come back to court on 15th of January, which is the assigned date.